So I was listening to Stanford University podcast, downloadable on iTunes, I believe, and probably elsewhere, about the American Revolution, or the founding of America, or something like that, the history of America, something like that, the history of the Revolution. But at any rate, they talk about how, the professor talks about how the natives in the South and the Southwest believed the peach and the peach tree to be a sacred ancient fruit of their people or whatever, when actually it was brought over by the Spanish just less than a century or two before. Now, the professor says that this is evidence for the profound upset, the profound turmoil in their society. They weren't even able to pass on knowledge about the past to their children. They actually just forgot things 3-4 generations back were just lost in history. And not lost in history, lost in prehistory, lost in something like that. And he completely misunderstands what's going on here. It's not evidence that there is turmoil preventing them from communicating. It's that they didn't place that much value on fact and recording actual historical truths, and they placed more value on having sun dances and praying to the Great Spirit. They didn't remember that the peach tree had not been theirs forever and ever, because they don't care about stuff like that. And it wouldn't matter anyway. If you told them that 3 centuries ago actually the peach tree came over from Europe, they wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about anyway. It's no wonder that this type of culture wasn't able to adapt to life next to ours, the Anglo-American culture, and wasn't able to adapt to life in this land before we got here. They're Stone Age savages. But that's how deep the myth goes. Even the most arcane, minute piece of the subject, the idea that the natives didn't know what was going on a century or two before, any given native standing around looking at the world around him didn't know what was going on a century or two before. Complete ignoramuses. To think that they had their own special culture, and they loved their culture, and they loved the earth, and they were good environmentalists, and they shared everything, is disgusting. These were such ignorant people. They couldn't even communicate knowledge over a couple of generations. They didn't have any way to do it. They had not even in the state of hieroglyphics. They had pictorial writing that can't really be deciphered in any meaningful way. So, another video sometime perhaps on the bogus myth of the peaceful Indians. I've got a book by Osborne, O-S-B-O-R-N, that's all about Indian atrocities. And I've got a video where I quote a bit from it, but I think maybe a fairly lengthy treatment on the subject would be useful.